Hello everyone and welcome back to IAM Technos. In today's video, we are exploring one of the capabilities in AWS Systems Manager called OpsCenter. Imagine you are running an application powered by dozens of AWS services working together. Every day, your operations team fixes various issues from failed deployments to resource misconfigurations. But here is a challenge. When different team members handle different problems, how do you track what was found and how it was fixed? And how do you present a complete record during compliance checks or audits? That's where AWS Systems Manager OpsCenter steps in, giving you a single place to create, view, investigate, and resolve operational issues with full flexibility. And stick around because we will even do a real hands-on demo to fix a broken EC2 web server using automation. But before we get there, let's understand the tool we will use. OpsCenter is a part of AWS Systems Manager. It stores OpsItems, which are records of operation problems, along with related resources and runbooks to resolve them. Think of it as an AWS native ticketing system. OpsCenter is designed to reduce the mean time to resolution for issues impacting AWS services. Now that we know what OpsCenter is and how it works, let's put it into action. First, we will launch an EC2 instance with a non-functional web server. Next, we will create an OpsItem in the OpsCenter to record this operational issue. Once the OpsItem is created, we will review its details and use an AWS Automation Runbook to install the web server. Finally, the EC2 instance web server should be up and running. Let's start by creating an EC2 instance. In the AWS Management Console, go to EC2 and click Launch Instance on the right side. For this demo, I'll use OpsCenter Web Server Demo as an instance name tag. Choose Amazon Linux as the AMI. Keep the instance type as T2 Micro for cost efficiency. And under the key pair section, select Proceed without a key pair. In the network settings, disable SSH and enable HTTP since we are hosting a web server. Keep the rest of the settings as default and click Launch Instance. Scroll down and click View All Instances to see the instance. The EC2 instance is now running. Let's try to access a web server using its public IP address. So copy the public IP address of the instance and paste it into your browser. As expected, nothing loads. That's because our web server is either not installed or is broken. This is exactly the operational issue we want to track and fix using the OpsCenter. In a new tab, search for Systems Manager and open it. From the left-hand menu, under the Operational Tools, click OpsCenter. If you're creating for the first time, click Get Started. To create an OpsItem manually, simply click Enable OpsCenter. However, by enabling this particular option, OpsItem creation can also be automated using Amazon CloudWatch and AWS config rules. This allows OpsCenter to automatically generate OpsItems when specific events or compliance violations occur, such as EC2 instance failed a health check, a security group being overly permissive, or a resource becoming non-compliant with your policies. But for now, I'll keep this option enabled and click Enable OpsCenter. You may be directed to the summary page. However, right now, my OpsCenter is empty since we haven't already created any OpsItems yet. The dashboard will eventually get us a quick view of open issues like the counts of open, in progress, and resolved issues, their sources, and how long they have been around. We can also enable operational insights to automatically highlight noisy alerts and repeated problems. Now navigate to the OpsItems page and click Create OpsItem. This is where you choose which AWS account will hold the OpsItem. Selecting this account creates the OpsItem in your current AWS account. Choosing other account allows you to create an OpsItem in another account within your AWS organization if cross-account operations are enabled. And the below section captures all the important information about the operational issues. Starting with the title, I'll enter web server not responding for the instance. Okay. Now, source identifies where the OpsItem originated from. This can be a specific AWS service such as EC2 or CloudWatch or a custom source name. In our case, it's EC2. Priority lets you set a value from 1 highest urgency to 5 lowest urgency. This is mainly used for sorting and team coordination. Let's choose 2 here. And severity indicates how critical the issue is, with common levels being critical, high, medium, and low. I'll select high for this demo. Category is used to logically group the issue types such as availability, security, or performance. Since the EC2 instance web server not working affects availability, I'll choose availability. Under description, you can provide a detailed explanation of the issue. I would write something like, the EC2 instance is not serving HTTP request. Tried accessing the public IP address, but received a connection timeout error. And also, the web server is expected to be running and responding to request. Okay. So this would be my description, and you can add more if needed. Next, deduplication string. So it is used to prevent duplicate OpsItems from being created for the same issue. If another OpsItem is created with the same deduplication string, AWS will merge them instead of creating a new one. Under notifications, enter ARNs for SNS topics so that team members are notified whenever an OpsItem changes or gets updated. I'll keep both the options as null. And related resources lets you link the impacted AWS resources directly to the OpsItem. For example, here I can attach the EC2 instance ID that is not responding. You can also link other resources like S3 buckets, RDS databases, or Lambda functions. This makes troubleshooting easier as you can quickly navigate to the resource and see related operational data such as logs, metrics, and compliance details. For now, click Add Related Resource. Under Resource Type, choose AWS EC2 instance. And paste the instance ID from the EC2 console into the resource ID field and click Add. You can add more resources, edit existing ones, or remove them if needed. Once done, click Create OpsItem. You get to see the overview of the OpsItem created, which includes details such as title, status, created date, and time. You can also edit these details at any point of time. It additionally displays the resources linked to the OpsItem, and you can add more resources if needed. This page also shows the history of any automation runbooks executed for this OpsItem in the past 30 days. This includes details such as document name, the start time, end time, status, results, execution ID, and executed by. Currently, this section is empty since we haven't executed any runbooks yet. And here is the interesting part. As we discussed earlier, we can use runbooks to remediate issues. In our scenario, this means installing a web server on an EC2 instance. Runbooks are essentially SSM automation documents that define the exact steps needed to resolve an issue. Now, let's go ahead and create one to address our use case. But before that, since we have already started working on this OpsItem, let's change the status to in progress. And you can see the updated status here. In a new tab, go to Systems Manager, click on Documents under Change Management Tools. And on the right side, Click Create Document and select Automation. Rename the runbook to Install HTTP Amazon Linux. Change code instead of design. Ensure the format is set to YAML. And paste the code. We are creating an SSM automation document that installs, enables, and start the Apache web server, which is HTTPD, on an Amazon Linux 2 EC2 instance. So click Create Runbook, and you can find this runbook under Owned by Me tab. Okay. If you are new to SM documents, please refer to my previous video linked in the description below. Now go back to the OpsCenter page. Don't forget to refresh and search for Install HTTPD Amazon Linux under Runbooks. Select it and click on Execute. Under Input Parameters, copy the instance ID from the instance console and paste it here and click Submit. And the execution status supposed to be in progress. However, it failed. And I tried running it a couple of times and realized the instance did not have the necessary role to allow Systems Manager to install the HTTP server. So let's create an IAM role and attach to an EC2 instance. So in a new tab, go to IAM, search for it and select it. It will take to an IAM dashboard. Click on roles under Access Management in the left navigation pane. Then click Create Role. Since we are creating this role for an EC2 instance, choose EC2 under Use Case and click Next. Under Add Permissions, search for Amazon SSM Managed Instance Co. Select it and click on Next. Provide a name for the role. Let's say SSM role. Scroll down and click on Create Role. The role will be created successfully and will appear under the Role section. Now go to EC2 console. Select the instance. Go to Actions. Under Security, modify IAM role and select SSM role. And click Update IAM role. Finally, go back to the OpsCenter. Under Runbooks, select the runbook we created earlier and click Execute. Paste the instance ID and click Submit. This time, the execution is in progress. Wait for a while and then refresh the page to see the status updated to success. Perfect. Finally, go to the browser where the public IP address is hosted. Refresh the page and you should now see the web server is running. In the same way, we can create or even automate the creation of OpsItems to efficiently address and track operational issues. Since the issue is resolved, you can change the status to resolved. Okay. Now, as a part of cleanup, select the instance, choose instance state, and click Terminate and confirm the action. Now go to SSM Documents page, select the runbook we created, open the Actions menu, click on Delete Document and confirm it. Finally, refresh the page to see the updated changes. Now let's delete the IAM role. First, select the role, click Delete, confirm the deletion by giving the role name and click Delete. Now, when it comes to OpsItems, once created, OpsItems are part of operational history. Instead of deleting, you can mark as resolved after fixing the issue. So as you can see, you are not finding under open and in progress, but if you click on resolved, you could still find the OpsItem we have created. You can also suppress notifications if you no longer want updates, and also use filters to hide resolved OpsItems. This way, AWS ensures you always maintain an audit trail of operational issues and their resolutions. Please note that the status of OpsItem isn't permanent. You can always change it back to open or in progress and continue working on it if needed. That's it for today. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and happy learning.